Are you thinking of doing a renovation? Well, these are the tools that I think you'll need. So this is now our second renovation, and if I was starting all over again, this is the tools that I would recommend. This video is going to be split into two segments, the core main power tools, and the other will be the core hand tools. The point of this video is to give you an idea of what you'd need to start a renovation. Now, because this is our second renovation, I'm a little bit more organised, and I kind of wish I knew this before I started, because it would have saved me messing around, bringing loads of boxes to the house, blah blah blah. I've kind of narrowed all my main power tools into one box, which just keeps things a lot tidier and much more simple. So, I am pretty proud of this actually, because I did manage to condense everything into one box. First tool in the top of the box is my multi-tool. This is a great tool. You can get lots of attachments for this, including a sander, cutting attachments. I use this for taking up floorboards. It's lightweight, easy to use, gets in all the areas that you need it to get into. If you don't want to go and grab your circular saw, you can just use this to cut bits out. And it's just an all-round great tool, and does get you out the crap sometimes as well. Recommended tool number one. Item number two would be an impact driver. Now I kind of think this goes hand in hand with the next one, but just to generally talk you through this, well, this was one of the first ones that I bought from DeWalt, and it's still going strong today. I've used it pretty much daily, so I know this tool inside out. They are an initial investment, and you would usually get it with the next item that I'm about to show, and it's probably one of my favourite tools. Obviously a lot of it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure when you buy one of these, it will come with a couple of batteries and a charger. The bits, you can use any brands. I've got a DeWalt one on there at the minute. As I said, pretty self-explanatory. Obviously you use this stuff for driving screws into wood, or you can even get socket attachments, so you can put the bit in and then you can have a socket attachment on the end if you're doing nuts and bolts, stuff like that. It's got really good power. The battery does last quite long as well, so yeah, another all-round great tool. You've probably noticed that all of these tools are DeWalt. This is the brand that I like. It's just much easier to keep everything one brand, so you've got all the batteries that can be used for every tool. I have tried other brands like Makita, Milwaukee, which are all fine to use, but this is just my brand of choice. Item number three, as I said, goes hand in hand with number two. This is a combination drill. You would usually buy these together, as I said. It's got the hammer, drill and torque settings on there. So pretty much everything you need for a good all-round combination drill. You've also got the power options on the top, so you can have it on low power and full power. The DeWalt batteries, the 18 volt 4 amp I think I've got, they also last quite a long time as well. So, and they also charge pretty quickly. No complaints there. And with this, it's kind of what you see is what you get. I would recommend this drill if you're getting started out in your renovations. However, this does have its limitations, and that brings me on to item number four, which is one of my favourite tools, and that is the SDS drill. If you're drilling multiple holes and going into much stronger surfaces like brick, this is going to massively outperform the hammer setting on the combi drill. So if you're doing any type of major fix into masonry, then you 100% are going to need one of these at some point in your renovation. The major difference with these compared to a standard drill is you do need the SDS fittings that slot into place, and they'll lock with the little chuck bit here. There's three settings on here. So there's hammer, hammer and drill, and then just drill. So this doesn't just function as a drill. It also functions as a chisel. So you can get these sort of attachments for them. That's the SDS fitting that I was on about just now. So you can use these to sort of break old brick walls up apart and hammer through concrete. Great for getting tiles off the wall or stuff like that. It's quite lightweight for what it is, and it does pack a lot of power. It's a little bit more expensive if you're buying it just on its own, which you usually probably would. But again, if you're doing a full-scale renovation, then I probably would say you do need one of these at some point. And I feel like I've got my money's worth, and as I said, it's probably my favourite tool. So that's item number four. Before I get to the last tool in this box, I've got 4 batteries that I can fit in and around these. Should be fully charged, yeah. So these are the DeWalt batteries that I've got. You can get the upgraded ones now. You've got the option to check the power status on the back when you press that button in. Not really much more to talk about these. They do charge pretty quickly. I would recommend you having a good few of these, and like anything, they do wear over time. They drain quicker, take longer to charge. A couple of mine now do sort of run out quite quickly, but overall they've lasted quite long, and just make sure you have a few spare. Depending on what tool you use them in will determine how fast they drain. This next tool I'm about to show you probably drains them the most. So finally in this box is item number 5, and this is my circular saw. To start with the downsides on this one, as I mentioned, this does drain the batteries quite quickly, and I have found sometimes it doesn't have a great amount of power. I have got a few blades for it, and I do find that the power isn't the best, but as long as you've got a few spare batteries, it gets the job done. So uses for this, obviously you might have seen recently that we used it to chop down the old stud walls. We use it to cut sheets of ply, MDF. You can use it for building stud walls. You've just got to make sure you've got the right blade. You also have the depth adjustment on there, so you can set the depth. And you've also got the bevel adjustment on the front. To be fair to this, it has saved me a lot of money. I haven't had to buy a track saw yet because I normally just set my spirit level up with 2 clamps on the end and use this. It's saved me having to buy a track saw, which I've been putting off for a little while. So these are my 5 main core power tools that I keep in my everyday box. Onto the hand tools. This is the bag that I keep my hand tools in. Instead of actually going through which ones I think are the most important, I'm just going to show you and talk through my hand tool bag. So I guess I'll just start and see where it goes. This has actually stood the test of time as well. I've used this for a business, home improvements business, so those power tools did used to be in here, and this, I would literally just bring this bag to each job and I'd pretty much have everything I'd need. Just to go through all the pockets, I've got a little spirit level here, some raw plugs in there, wire brush, adjustable spanner and a water pump plier. In here I've got some tin snips, a plasterboard saw, some SDS drill bits. This is some little bits for my impact driver. So I've got all the ones I'd probably ever need in there. That just goes in that pocket. In here I've got some wood chisels, 2 new ones, and I've got an old wood chisel, which is great for just banging stuff out. I've also got a plasterboard sort of shaver thing there. Got some nails. And here I've got some hand screwdrivers, so I've got a flathead, Phillips, another little flathead down there. I've also got some goggles just hooked over the top here, and a dust mask. Some small pliers here. Staple gun here, Stanley knife with also some blades in there. This other pocket I've got a couple pencils, pen and a Sharpie. This next pocket along, the last pocket sorry, I've got all my multi-tool attachments. So this is a wood cutter attachment. As I said, that multi-tool has lots of uses, and the reason I got this bag was because I wanted one that I could fit pretty much everything into. So I've got a wood saw here at the front, this front pocket, little torch, which comes in handy when you're just looking under floorboards and stuff like that. I've got my little plumber's copper cleaner drill bit attachment, that's handy. Some electrical tape, extra tiny spirit level, that's good if you're fitting some back boxes for some electrical sockets, so you can make sure that's all level. I've got a 15mm copper pipe cutter, a drill attachment for drilling out hinges on kitchen cabinets. So as I said, this has everything in it, so maybe at the end I'll highlight my non-negotiables. PTFE tape, a little key socket thing for electrical boxes and gas meter boxes. Got a big Allen key for the inserts on the radiator. Got a little punch, and then just a little bit of... And also bear in mind we are mid-renovation here as well, so that's why I kind of have plumbing bits, electrical bits everywhere. On the side I've got a combination square, probably one of the non-negotiables. Obviously you need a good tape measure. I've gone through a few of these and this is a good one that I'd recommend. And as you know, if you've watched this channel before, I'm all pretty much self-taught, so I just buy things as and when I need them. And this is sort of the collection I've just built up over time. So a little pocket in here, I've got another little spirit level. And
on the wall there.
I know, it's a Milwaukee spirit level. And these are handy, if I can get them out. These are handy if you're fitting kitchen cabinets or internal doors, stuff like that for the hinges. They're centering drill bits, so centers the hole when you're lining up hinges, etc. And the back, I've got a trend scribe. I used this when I fitted our kitchen. Yeah, another good tool to have in my tool bag. And then to finish off all the pockets, I've got 2 pliers, one adjustable and one with some snippers on as well. Oh, I feel like I'm going to get judged for this. In this pocket, I've got my SDS drill bits, standard drill bits, wood, metal, masonry. Curved Derg mugs. To finish off inside the bag, I've got hammer, crowbar. I don't know why I've still got this in the bag, but a downlight hole saw, tap, nut key, a sanding pad, and then yeah, just basically a load of cable ties and super glue and activator or stuff like that. And obviously I've got a bunch more tools all dotted around the house, but the point of this video is to give you an idea of what you'd need to start a renovation. I mean, obviously a lot of it I use daily, but it's going to massively depend on what jobs you're taking on yourself. So if you're not going to bother with any plumbing work, for example, then you won't really need an adjustable spanner, will you? Because you're not going to be taking radiators off. So hand tools, I wouldn't worry about too much because, as I said, you just sort of buy it as and when you need, and it's not going to break the bank. But in terms of the core power tools, those are sort of your key components if you're looking to take on a full renovation yourself. Last thing to mention really is tool storage. I've tried a few, but the one I use now currently is the DeWalt T-Stack. So I'm going to grab that now and I can quickly run through what else I've got just stacked on top of that. I wanted it for the reason it's got the wheels on the front, so it's very movable. In here I keep more job specific tools, so I've got one box for fitting internal doors. I've got another box for screws and wall plugs and fixings. As I say, yeah, job specific tools that I don't reach for every day. So it's probably not worth going through each box now, but I think I've pretty much covered all the main tools that you would need if you're starting out a renovation. Thanks very much for watching. I hope this was in some way helpful to you. Good luck with your renovation if you're doing one yourself. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. Like and subscribe.